not so much the you're actually looking at something. We're talking
Okay, I would like to call to order the regularly scheduled December 4th meeting of the Sylvania Township Trustees at 4 p.m.
Call the roll. Mr. Haddad?
Here.
Mr. Genowine?
Here.
Oh, sorry.
Here.
Oh,
You normally used to go down the line.
I don't know why I did that.
Here.
Oh, he's here too.
Okay. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Approval of the minutes. Did anybody see any issues or any corrections for the November 20th meeting minutes? I'd like to present the meeting minutes as presented.
Okay, Mr. Genowine moves. Mr. Haddad seconds.
Yes.
Call the roll. Everyone votes yes.
Yes.
Mr. Haddad?
Yes.
Mr. Mahoney?
Yes.
Mr. Genowine?
Yes. Additions or deletions to today's agenda?
I have one addition. We're asking for an executive session on personal matters for the road department.
Okay.
Has anyone signed in? No one signed in?
Nobody signed in. Darrell?
I have nothing.
Nothing? All right. Greg?
Good afternoon. The monthly report for November has been submitted for your review. Main topic, of course, was leaf pickup. With the dry weather, we've had another good leaf pickup year. Productivity has contributed to many factors. Very reliable workforce, cooperative. We had some great seasonal employees. Full-timers did a great job. Overall, went very well, my opinion. Item B with the training. Most of the road and service department participated in a snow and ice course offered through LTAP with ODOT. That was in Lima, Ohio at District 1. Received a state certificate accordingly, and overall, very nice. So this is really all that occurred for the month of November. So pending your questions, I'm ready to move on to the next item.
Well, I've gotten several comments about the leaf pickup, and you guys did a great job. I think the only complaint was everybody's sinuses were driving them crazy because it was dry and things, but your team did a great job. Thank you.
I have a question. A lot of people are still worried about brush. We picked it up in September, but there's a lot of brush out there with the leaves, and people are saying, what do we do with all of our brush? And I've said this once, I'll say it again, just with a website and advertising in the paper, which people, a lot of them don't have computers, a lot of them don't have the paper. We need to get the message out, what we're doing about brush pickup, because when you have people sitting there with leaves, they're gone, and they see all this brush sitting in the yard for months. And they said, what do we do about this brush, And I said, we need to make sure that we're going to get that picked up. I think we should pick that up with the last leaf pickup, in end of November. It'd be a lot easier on the residents. Because people just don't know about that, and they don't want, first week of September to start to pick up to, now.
I think the stick pickup has been a fairly, we've gone over that issue quite a bit. It's a very expensive thing, and I thought we've tried to make it very clear, but there's always room for improvement to get the message out a little bit better, and maybe we can put a little article in. But I know through talking to Greg that, the place that takes our leaves does not want sticks mixed into it. So, if we want to add another stick pickup for whatever dollar amount that's going to be, then we need to talk about that and factor that in. But this is a specific leaf pickup, and we've made that very clear to the residents, or at least we've tried to.
Well, we pick up 4 times. I think if we picked up 3 times once a month, instead of, that we get some time for every big amount, that last time we could add the, stick pickup and then grind them up in a mulch, and even if we had a mulch pile, just sell to the people. They come and pick it up by the truckloads. We think much. So it'd be revenue, enhancing. It's up to you, but I'm looking at, ways to change it so that way, because a lot of people don't know what to do with it. A lot of people are first to get rid of all that stuff. Just, that's what I've been hearing out in the public from the people that I see.
Okay.
All right, go ahead on your
Thank you.
next issue.
Recommending resolution number 12-161, authorization to hire a utility worker.
I'll offer resolution 12-161 to authorize a utility worker.
Second.
Mr. Haddad?
I'm just reading this now, so give me 1 second. I didn't know I had this on the agenda. Okay, I agree.
Mr. Mahoney?
Yes.
Mr. Genoway?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thanks, Greg.
Thanks, Craig. Chief, you have anything for the fire department? And Chief Boney, anything for the police department? And then that brings me up. My first resolution is a resolution to execute agreement with the Lucas County Board of Commissioners for Animal Control Services. This is a continuation of the contract that we've had for a couple years, and basically what it is, it's for when we need to call animal control for after hours, and their hours end at 4:30, 8:30, 4:30. Anytime we call them after hours, there is a fee for that, and it's basically 4 hours of overtime for the deputy dog warden. The contract itself provides for a $2,500 retainer, just so we contract with them, and those dollar amounts have stayed the same for many years. Sometimes we haven't used the service, sometimes we use it very few times. I think this year we looked at it was just a couple times this year. Mainly it's the police department would use it when there's an animal in a yard or up on a porch and they have to get to the house, and that's the only time basically we use it.
Well, I've talked to them about this, and I said they should do a double shift instead of, doing one shift and then at 4 o'clock in case you run truck. That would save everybody a lot of money instead of paying overtime.
I agree, but it's,
That's what we're stuck with for now.
it's what we're stuck with. It's,
Yeah, you're right. For resolution 12-163.
Second. Mr. Haddad?
Yes.
Mr. Mahoney?
Yes.
Mr. Genoway?
Yes.
next item is the fiscal officer, Mr. Simcoe.
Ready? We have resolution 12-157, it's transfer of appropriations. You look at the list there, there's a number of small appropriations that we're doing just for the end of the year. Oh, sideways. There it is. But it's all within departments and funds.
I'd like to offer resolution 12-157, transfer of appropriations.
Second.
Mr. Haddad?
Yes.
Mr. Mahoney?
Yes.
Mr. Genoway?
Yes.
Next, we have resolution 12-158, that's increase appropriation for unencumbered funds, and you can see in the resolution, the fire department needs to purchase a new light pack. The cemetery, we need to remove a tree. We need to do some transferring there, and then,
I got a question.
Well, let's make the resolution, then you can ask your question. Resolution 12-158 to transfer appropriation from unencumbered balance. Need a second, and you guys can discuss it.
Second.
Chief, question. Was the life packs for, I thought those were in the budget for next year. Is that for this year? Maybe I didn't read it close enough.
Yes, sir, I have life packs in the budget for next year.
Okay.
And we also had one in for this year.
Okay, I didn't see it for this year. Okay, that's
Yes,
my
sir,
fault. Okay,
The current
thanks.
packs are obsolete. That's why.
Okay, yeah, I knew that, but I thought they were for next year's budget when I remember looking at your budget numbers,
Okay,
yeah, a few months ago.
thanks.
Okay, thank you.
That $18,000 stands out,
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
okay, call Mr. Haddad?
Yes.
Mr. Mahoney?
Yes.
Mr. Genoway?
Yes.
Next, we have resolution number 12-159, and that is before you. That is our it's a lengthy resolution, and it has to do with the township annual appropriation resolution and all of our various accounts.
I'd like to offer resolution 12-159 to adopt the 2013 annual appropriations.
Second.
Mr. Haddad?
Yes.
Mr. Mr. Mahoney?
Yes.
Mr. Genowine?
Yes.
Resolution 12-160, and it's a motion to request advancement of taxes for the 2013 fiscal year. And we get advances on our taxes, and we need that money to help fund us for a year, otherwise we would be waiting to the end of the year, and this would be a bad situation.
I'll offer Resolution 12-160, request advance of the 2013 property tax collector.
Second. Well, before we vote, though, I would like you to understand that I've been seeing a lot of residents, a lot of vacant properties, more so out here, and people not paying taxes. So we're going to have a lot less money, I think, coming in this year than we're planning on, so I'm really kind of getting worried about budgets-wise. So just so you guys know that. Go ahead.
I think the auditor came back with an adjusted number for our community of 7.3% reduction in property tax. So I think that's what our budget's based off of, and I mean, I think we all keep a close eye on it, but that's the best information we have. Okay, I think we have to call the roll.
Okay. Mr. Haddad?
Yes.
Mr. Mahoney?
Yes.
Mr. Genowine?
Yes.
And we have our last resolution, it's 12-162, and it's a transfer of funds. And I think that it's on the back here, it has to do with that, cutting that tree down in the cemetery. It's for $3,500.
That's a lot of money. Do we bid that out, or was that,
The tree itself is probably 50 or 60 feet tall. It's in the center of the cemetery. The contractor will have to run a crane also. We think it was hit by lightning.
Yeah, but did we bid it out? Because I got a lot of contractors that would do a large tree like this for $2,000.
We bid it out. This
Okay.
is our reliable contractor that we've been with. It's my recommendation that we continue with this contractor.
Now, speaking with my insurance hat on, a tree struck by lightning is covered by insurance
There you
for
go.
removal. So I don't know if we want to check our policy to see if it might be or what. It probably is much different than I'm used to, but at least it's worth checking into. Thanks. Okay, did you offer 12?
I didn't offer it, no.
Okay.
I'll offer it.
Okay, Mr. Haddad makes a motion.
I'll second it.
Mr. Genowine? Mr. Haddad?
I'll say yes reluctantly.
And Mr. Mahoney?
Yes.
Mr. Genowine?
Yes.
I think it's a lot of money.
That is all the fiscal officer had today.
Thank you.
All right, well, I've got some open discussion that I want to discuss. I sat down and spoke to the residents over on Harbor Way. I don't know if any of you have taken the time to do that, to see what the issues were over here. And sat down with the residents who are the leaders of this whole annexation into the city thing. And where they're at right now is they're just upset with some of the services the township's providing. They looked at sanitary sewers, so I spent time with Jim Shaw talking to him about the sanitary sewer cost. I think it's rough, yeah, the gentleman who was the leader left. And we sat down and discussed that. I discussed electrical lighting and the cost of that. If they want to have that done, last but not least, I sat down and discussed the fact about, they said they weren't so upset with the lead pickups, except for the fact that some of the guys removed some of the chutes and it was blowing all over the cars and stuff in the neighborhood, but they said that's been resolved, and they were, like I said, they were upset about the brush pickup too. So, they said they're on the fence on this right now, they want to get all the numbers together. I did find out for a fact that it's going to cost them to stay in the township $44 more a year on their water bills, because it's $11 a quarter additional for being in the township, because the city puts that extra fee on there, and it's going to have to go through the city, so they can for the water, for the sewage.
You mean sewer bills?
Yeah, the sewers, yeah.
You said
Water is not going to change on that. They have water, it's just the sewers.
Right.
So they want to get out of their ancient sanitary system. I talked to several other restaurants, they don't want to go into the city. They said they have no intention of wanting to go into the city, that's why they didn't send a petition. So, right now, we'll continue discussion and see where it's headed at, if you guys, still agree with that, and make sure we move on, because I don't want to lose any residents. I mean, we've got a lot of people frustrated out here. A lot of people can't afford their taxes, and we've got to look at what we're going to do to help them out.
Well, as a township, we do not have a sewer district, nor do we have a lighting district. So the two things that they are looking for the township does not provide. So, they can set up their own lighting district. We approve certain districts each year in terms of the assessment to their property taxes and things, and we'd certainly be willing to work with them there. But in terms of a sewer district, Kevin, as you know, we don't have one. We don't, I believe that area is already encompassed in the city's sewer district. So, I guess it surprised me as much as it did you when I heard that it was under consideration. But, I do know that area, probably, would bring benefit to them to have sewers in the area. I mean, those are old septic systems and things, so, I think the best thing at this time is just to continue the dialogue with them and they receive the same, pardon?
We don't have to create the sewer district because the sewer just would be put in by the county. They just would appeal to the county for that. They would put them in and they would charge them over 20 years for that, for their expense on it. And they said then they would also just put the quarterly bill on through the city of Sylvania on their water bills. So you guys understand that?
Thanks, I do got a pretty good understanding of it, thank you.
Mr. Zeiler, do you have anything to add?
Well, just, the one thing on the lighting, I did talk to True Edison, they can petition for streetlights. It's very costly in established neighborhoods, because they already have their driveways there, they have shrubbery and everything, so usually they put in overhead wiring to the light poles, but once again, that's something they can petition for, and if they want to be assessed for street lighting, that's something that they can do, and that would be whether they're in the city or the township. The city of Sylvania assesses for street lighting. I looked at my tax bill the other night, and I have a hefty amount on there that I didn't realize that for street lighting. And as far as the sewer, Mr. Haddon was right. It's, if they stay in the township, it's $44 more than in the city. I mean, if they're in the city of Sylvania sewer district, and it would be $44 more if they stay in the township in the sewer district than if they moved into the city. But that's $11 a quarter.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's enough to make a decision on.
Well, no, most of the residents' concern was getting into the city. If they got in the city, they didn't want to pay the income tax portion either. That's why a lot of the residents said they don't want to go.
Right.
People that don't have to pay anything right now, who are retired and stuff, they wouldn't pay an income tax in the city. So they're the ones who are petitioning for it because, the cost.
And
There
as,
are a couple vacant houses over there too right now.
and as I understand it, the petition, which I don't know has officially been submitted or has been handed, I don't.
I spoke to the mayor today, and it's in its very infant stage, and how it even came up was the city was trying to determine for their budget whether they needed to earmark about $250,000 to install sewers. So I don't know if it's actually been presented to the county or to the city, but it's in its very infant stages, and the city has, the mayor has certainly promised to work with us closely, and, it's...
And as I understand, the petition really has nothing to do, the petition itself is not to do with sewers, it's to be annexed into the city of Sylvania.
Yeah.
Once they're in, then they would petition for sewers, so it's really a two-step process if they go that route.
Well, then they have to go to the commissioners for that too.
Right.
They haven't gone to that
Right.
stage.
And then there would be hearing on.
Well, the attorneys and that, I know that for a fact, because I talked to Jim, and they sat down and they discussed it, and that's,
Like you said, it's in the infant stages, so they haven't done anything from that point yet.
Okay.
I just don't want to lose any residents.
Well, let's not overpromise things that the township doesn't provide either.
We don't
provide, well,
I gave them the facts of what it cost them to do this.
Okay.
I mean, I
Well,
told
we
them
don't
that.
have a sewer district, so
No,
I
but
don't
that
know
goes
what...
through the sanitary engineer directly, and I talked to Jim, and he said that they would just apply for him and put a petition out, and the county commissioners would approve it, and they would just go through that, put the sewers in, and the city does it, and then they would be charged over the years under taxes, for 20 years. So we wouldn't need a sewer district for that, because we're not adding anything extra.
Okay, with that, I would like to make a motion to go into executive session to discuss personnel in the Public Works Department at 4:20.
Thank you.
Second.
Mr. Haddad?
yes.
Mr. Maloney?
Yes.
Mr. Genowine?
Yes. We'd like to make a motion to come out of executive session at 4:40.
Second.
Mr. Haddad?
Yes.
Mr. Mahoney?
Yes.
Mr. Genowine?
Yes. I would like to make, or offer Resolution 12-164 to authorize HR Director to extend an offer for road foreman position.
Second.
Mr. Haddad?
Yes.
Mr. Mahoney?
Yes.
Mr. Genowine?
Yes. I would like to offer Resolution 12-165 to authorize HR Director to extend offer for utility worker positions for up to 2 positions.
Second.
Mr. Haddad?
Yes.
Mr. Mahoney?
Yes.
Mr. Genowine?
Yes. And lastly, I would like to offer a motion to adjourn at 4:41.
Second.
Mr. Haddad?
Yes.
Mr. Genowine?
Yes.
Mr. Mahoney?
Yes.
How about that?
All right.
Great.